things are not looking good for Candace Owens. Her conspiracies, her investigative journalism has led her into danger. But not by one government, not by two governments, by multiple governments plotting to take her out.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Welcome, my brothers and my sisters. I appreciate you all being here. You could be anywhere, but you're here, so I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for that. We got to talk about something very severe, something very serious. Candace Owens. Candace Owens is saying that she's being targeted now. Candace Owens is under threat of execution, she says, because of her investigative journalism. Why is that? What is going on? How is Candace Owens' investigative journalism leading her to potential threats of assassination paid for by the government? What is going on? We're going to discover that. We're going to discover the legitimacy of Candace Owens' claims, what has led up to this, what's going on. So we're just going to get started. We're not even going to take any time. We're going to get started. This is what she had to say on X, formerly known as Twitter. We're going to read this. It's a kind of long tweet, so bear with me. But we got to get to the bottom of this. We can't allow stuff like this to go on. So, well, I'm going to read it for you. I know the prompt is a little small. So, she says, urgent with the alert. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. All right. She was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I have deemed the information they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. In short, this person claims that the Macrons, and the Macrons are the French, pretty much president, the president and his wife that Candace is saying is a transgender. So, and that's what's led her into that investigation going into the French prime minister and his wife tranny thing that Candace is claiming. All right. That's who the Macrons are. So, you know. And she says that the claim that the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination. So she's saying the French president has paid for her assassination, and she got that tip from an anonymous source, but a high-ranking employee of the French government. Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team of national, and that's a French word right there, is gendarme. I'm not French. I don't speak French, but that's how the word is pronounced. Gendarme, right? An intervention group. So that's a small elite black ops team that has been paid to execute Candace Owens. I am told that there is one Israeli that is on this assassination squad and plans were formulated. Okay? So, of course, as you guys know, it's not just it can't just be the French. Now, Candace has been going after the French before she was going after Israel, but it's not just the French. Also, Israel is in the mix. So it's the French government and Israel who have paid for a black ops team to assassinate her. They've greenlit and paid for a black ops team to assassinate her. Okay, again, this person provided concrete proof that they are and well placed within the French government apparatus. Therefore, to this point, this person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassin trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multi-state involvement. Okay, all right. So she's not only claiming that the same government that is coming to take her out. She's also claiming that when it comes to Charlie, even though she doesn't know who took Charlie out, she hasn't said that yet. She's been making multiple videos. She's made a few dozen videos about Charlie Kirk and her investigative journalism. She said that Charlie Kirk's assassination was by Israel. She implied it was by Israel, but it was not by Israel, but it was, and by Donald Trump and by the French government. So it's been multi-state apparatus, and they've all gathered together. Presidents of different nations and countries have gathered together, and they took out Charlie, and they're about to take out Candace Owens. Okay, I just want you to catch up. Just want to make sure that we're not losing anybody with this. All right. So yes, he was trained. This further proof. Okay. Journalist Xavier Porcest, know me with names, life is also at risk. This is deadly serious. The head of state of French apparently wants us both dead. Oh, man. And has authorized professional units to carry this out. I'm glad she took to Twitter about this. This was the right move. This was the right thing to do. You know. I'm sure she has proof. She hasn't said anything that's proven, but she has proof. Concrete proof is what she says. She has concrete proof of this. Okay? I ask everyone to retweet this and share this. Okay? I don't know who in the American government can be trusted. She's also blaming the American government as well, too. Since this source claims our leaders are aware. Oh, okay. The plot gets thicker. Okay? But I have more specific information, which is definitely valuable or vulnerable. Okay. All right. Which they care to reach out to me. Okay. Should they care to reach out to me. To the brave official in France who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie's public execution to risk their own life. May God bless you truly. Let it all be revealed. So, Candace is saying that the French government is plotting to take her out. French government is plotting to take her out. And they also have a special Black Ops team of assassinations to do so. In the special Black Ops team of French assassinations, there's an Israeli assassin as well, too. You know? And those are the same group of special Black Ops that took out Charlie Kirk. And the government, the American government, knows about this. How did we get here, y'all? How did we get here? Okay. All right, y'all. Boy. All right, how did we get here? Now, she's been making accusations, doing the investigative journalism about Charlie Kirk and about what happened to Charlie Kirk. She doesn't believe that the person who is locked up and the suspect is responsible. She believes that there's something deeper involved. She believes that Benjamin Netanyahu is involved in the plot. She believed that, and she also did, when we played that before, she believed that Donald Trump had some involvement in his betrayal and what happened to Charlie. Now she's saying that the French government had something that happened to Charlie, and those are the same people who are paying assassins to come after her, whether they're secret assassins that will get her in the dark of night, or whether they're French military assassin Black Ops special forces. They're coming to take her out just like they took out Charlie. What is going on? We don't know. It could be two things from what we see here. Number one is Candace is losing her mind. She's completely lost it. Or number two, the grift of I'm doing this investigative journalism to find out what really happened to my friend that I love oh so much is starting to come to an end. And let me tell you guys why. Let's talk real talk, okay? The reason for that is because when you're doing all of these things, now mind you, she did about 40 episodes. And all of them are about Charlie Kirk. All of them are about what really happened to Charlie Kirk. She's been on that for a very long time. The thing is, if you're going to make these investigative takes and journalistic takes, they have to eventually lead to something. They have to conclude to something. And Candace has a sneaky thing where she vaguely implies somebody had something to do with it, and she doesn't cross a certain line. So when they come out with information that they didn't have anything to do with it, she'll say, I never said that. So she just ties one end to another end to another end to another end. And the more she does it, when you make a 40 plus series of what happened to Charlie Kirk, I know what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's really not happening like that. Okay. Now, mind you, she's been claiming for months that she's this close to finding out what really happened to Charlie Kirk. Now, I'm going to play some clips. Before I do, I'm going to play the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that everything we played thus forth is protected under the guise of fair use. I'll be right back, and I appreciate if while I'm gone, you guys hit that like button, subscribe button, share button, all that stuff. We'll be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Remember, I told you, Candace has been saying for months now that she's been getting close. She's so close. Every episode, every live she's done so far has been about Charlie, has been tied to Charlie, and she's close. I got a small collage of she's close. Listen to this, y'all. This is how close she is.
Our Zionists story are Zionists, and they demand that we accept the Fed story. And their panic is making me think that we're getting closer to something, and that something is pretty big. And I just sense that we're getting close. We're not going to let this go. We are not going to stop speaking about this topic because I sense that we are getting very close because they are very angry. We are making so many discoveries in this case, and I have to tell you guys, we're getting close. We're getting close. Very close, I think, to what actually happened on that day. We don't do everything very quickly because this is a game of cat and mouse, and we need to know where the snakes are. We need to know where the rats are on the ship, and there are a lot of them. And we are getting closer. I think I can confirm to you guys that there is mass panic. Zionists are mad. I don't know why. This investigation really has set Zionists off. I think it's because we're getting closer, and Charlie would indeed want us to keep going, Max. So I think we should be clued into that, continue to follow our instincts, and to get as much information as we can, because we are getting close. They are getting, radical.
Okay, so she's getting close. She is getting close, and she's been saying that for months, okay? Charlie died in September, and she's been making live streams, doing investigative journalism, reaching so far that pretty much nobody believes that where she's going is actually going to land anywhere. Nobody in the conservative, even the conspiratorial movement or segment believe that, okay? Oh, but she's milking that cow dry, and she's been getting close and getting close and getting close. But the thing is that when you keep making these vague accusations and then having to take it back, and then you have these mysterious sources that work for the government, that's another thing. Now, as a journalist, you're not supposed to let people know your sources. You're not supposed to out your sources. What type of journalist would do that? So it allows her to have a little escape, because she can say a source, and I've confirmed this source is a high-ranking employee of the French government. That's my source. My source is a French government employee, and my source told me this. And then if it happens to be incorrect, if it's wrong, then it's not her that's wrong. It's her source that was wrong. She didn't say it happened. She just implied that that was the case, and it wasn't her. It was her source. And she's been saying things and then taking things back. Her entire, what do you want to call this, a series? Her entire series this is what she's been doing, okay? Saying she did something, then saying she didn't say that, and that's what she's been on, all right? Like this right here.
A faithful supporter of Israel. A faithful supporter of Israel. That's not what he said. Okay. He talks about the phone call and didn't give it the proper context. He held up the letter and didn't give it the proper context. And lies by severe omission, I'd like to be very clear, are lies. Lies by severe omission are lies. You're not going to gaslight us and tell us to shut up or call us anti-Semitic for pointing out the fact that Charlie was having a change of heart about the tactics that Israel was using in America, and that he felt when he had left that meeting that he had effectively been blackmailed.
Okay. So she says definitively that Charlie Kirk felt as if he was being blackmailed, and Charlie Kirk felt that his life was in danger because he had changed his stances on Israel. He did not want to support them anymore. Charlie Kirk said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to betray my country for you all anymore. And because of that, he was blackmailed. That's what Candace is saying. And then a couple days later, this is what Candace is saying.
Again, my platform is yours, Seth Dillon. My platform is yours, Bill Ackman. So if you want to clarify it, we can do it in front of millions, okay?
Now, if you want to clarify my platform is yours, Bill Ackman and Seth Dillon. So Bill Ackman has come out with a public statement exposing the conversation that he had with Charlie and Candace Owens' assumptions that Charlie was being blackmailed, and all of that was debunked. And after Candace was debunked that Bill Ackman had blackmailed Charlie, or at least she had proof that Bill Ackman had blackmailed Charlie, and came out with that publicly, this is what Candace Owens had to say.
Don't care. Conspicuously missing, okay? Then kind of wraps it up, and he's like, in short, this was not an intervention to blackmail Charlie into adopting certain views on Israel. It was nothing of the sort. Okay, buddy, I never said you blackmailed Charlie. I asked you if this moment happened. I asked you about Bibi Netanyahu.
Oh, y'all hear that? Hold on.
Charlie, I asked you. Never said you blackmailed Charlie. Short. Okay, buddy, I never said you blackmailed Charlie. Short. Okay, buddy, I never said you blackmailed Charlie. I asked you if this moment happened.
Did it sound, y'all, did that sound like she was asking a question of this happened? Or did that sound like she was making a definitive statement that Charlie Kirk was blackmailed? And that anybody who was saying or implying that Charlie Kirk was not blackmailed because Charlie Kirk had different political stances is a liar. And then when it came out that that evidence didn't really go anywhere and that was debunked, now all of a sudden she was just asking the question. She never said that Charlie Kirk was blackmailed. So what is that? And Candace has done that. She's done that. She's implied Erica was somehow involved, or at least knowing of it. And then when Ben Shapiro came out and said, hey, she's pointing at Erica, then she says, no, I'm not pointing at Erica. So Candace does a thing where she vaguely points at certain people, and then when they debunk that claim, or they ask for proof or her source, she says, well, technically, I never said you did this, you did this, you did this. And Candace, she's been milking this dry, and there's only so long she can be able to do this before eventually somebody kind of thinks like, okay, Candace, where's this going? Because you've been on this nonstop since September. Okay, we're at the end of November now. And it's nonstop. All right? And then a lot of people are questioning as well, too. They say, well, Candace, I don't know what your relationship with Charlie must have been, but you said that Charlie didn't like Ben Shapiro, and then you start working for Ben Shapiro. You say Charlie didn't like Nick Fuentes, and you're doing an interview with Nick Fuentes. So, Candace, like, what is this? What is going on with you, Candace? And a lot of people are asking, like, it seems as if Candace Owens is a grifter, and Candace Owens is milking this cow dry when it came to Charlie. She's the only one in that, like, conservative, I guess, former MAGA movement thing that is even mentioning Charlie at this point. She's the only one who's not letting the FBI and the detectives and all of that handle it. She said, I'm going to take it upon myself to go investigate and handle it. All right. She's doing that. And she's not really coming back with anything. She's calling people by name. And then when they say something about it, she says she didn't say anything. And every single video, she's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. So at first, she had tied. She said it had to have been about Benjamin Netanyahu and the deal that Charlie didn't want to take with him, and he was betrayed by them. But he wasn't only betrayed by them. It's not him. Now it's Donald Trump who did it. Remember, she said it was Trump. She said Trump was involved in the assassination. And he had also betrayed Charlie. Everybody that Candace doesn't like betrayed Charlie. That's just very interesting.
Just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did.
Okay. So, it was Benjamin Netanyahu. It was Trump. Now it's the Macrons. Because the president doesn't like the fact that you're implying or accusing his wife of being a tranny. Okay? And that investigation has not concluded yet either. She's not been able to conclude that. On top of the fact that there's probably a pending lawsuit, from what I've heard, that they're suing her for, I guess, defamation or for harassment or something of the sort, slander, something of the sort. And she's finding a way to circle all of these things and tie all of these things together. That's what she's doing. Has Candace lost it? Now, a lot of people are accusing her of being a grifter because Candace also, and we got to play this clip. We got to make sure we show you guys the receipts, because I'm not just going to say anything now. I got to show you guys, because you guys wouldn't believe me. It's not like I'm out here just using conspiracies and saying things about, just conspiratorial. No, I'm not like that at all. Now, Candace recently had an interview with Myron Gaines, which is kind of having a lot of people scratch their head. Why is Candace having an interview with Myron Gaines? Now, was Myron Gaines a super big supporter of Charlie? Let's listen to what their quote unquote debate or interview and all that. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
I know you said the people around him, but who do you think is the most responsible? Why would they want him gone?
I think Charlie was not allowed to be anything but a Christian Zionist. And he was changing in the last few weeks. When I look at the timeline that I put together, some weird stuff, this Egyptian plane that was started tracking him everything began ratcheting up.
Oh, no. Also, she's also accusing Egypt. So just so you know, the governments that are all involved with Charlie was that big of a dude, that powerful of a dude, that influential, that dangerous, that it wasn't one government that took him down, it was 4. According to what she knows now. It might be more in the next week or so. But it was U.S., Israel, French, and Egypt. And they had Egyptian helicopters that were following Charlie Kirk. Okay? All right. So you guys know. It was several states across the world. The whole world plotted to take down Charlie Kirk. So you know. All right? So that's what she's saying.
After Tucker Carlson hit the stage, And
In July. Oh yeah, I was there for that. Yeah.
That
pissed him off.
That was a something.
Yeah.
So I think Charlie was done, as Megan showed the video. He was telling Tucker to go max. All of the things that they lied about, we've now proven. And why were they lying about it? That's why this is the thing. Why lie if you have nothing to cover up? That's
all right. So you're having that conversation with Myron, and a lot of people are suspecting. They're all like, you know what? That's odd that you're gonna have that conversation with Myron, because Myron was not that big of a fan of Charlie. Myron, whose real name is Amru Fruity, you know, he plays for the other team. You know, just don't let him lie to you about it. He plays for the other team, and there's evidence of that. So he said some things. He was not the biggest fan. He really was not the biggest fan of Myron. Listen to this.
But if we're gonna be real, and this is the realest no one will ever admit, y'all wanna know who's responsible for red pilling the youth? It's Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, and Sneeko.
Okay. All right. He says it was Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, and Sneeko who are responsible for red pilling the youth. Let me tell you why that's completely incorrect, why that's completely wrong. Okay? Because the youth does not want to be like Sneeko. Nobody wants to be like Sneeko. Young men are not aspiring to be a future Sneeko. Young men are not looking at Sneeko saying, man, I kind of want to be like him. Sneeko's cool. Sneeko he's an intelligent man. He got a lot going on. I want to be like Sneeko. Sneeko does not have influence like that. Sneeko is a lame. He's a little racist, little puny, lying lame that nobody respects or takes serious, like Myron. Myron doesn't influence anybody. Myron is used as a puppet because he regurgitates a lot of lies from the dominant society against black people, foundational black Americans. The IQ, the crime, the this, the that. That's what Myron does. But nobody, not even his own masters, respect Myron. Nobody wants to be like Myron. Nobody aspires to be like Myron. Nobody even aspires to be like Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, people are radicalized by Nick because Nick Fuentes is saying some extremist things that a lot of members in the dominant society really secretly believe, and they really want to say those things publicly, and Nick is saying those things publicly. So they like the fact that Nick is saying those things publicly, but they don't want to be like Nick. They don't look up to Nick. Nick has not accomplished anything. Nick is not a man that people could look up to and want to replicate and be like, okay? Men don't like Nick. Women don't like Nick. Nobody is even sure if Nick likes women, but that's the case. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these people, a lot of them, the jury is still out if they like women. Myron, I think we can confirm it's a no, but Nick is kind of like, we're not sure yet. Maybe not. The closest, I would say, was Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate had his moment where Andrew Tate was cool. At least Andrew Tate had did something. He was a kickboxer before, so Andrew Tate had accomplished something before he went like in that red pill space. So he had a moment where people are like, hey, let's listen to Andrew Tate before he went like too overboard. That was a brief moment. But I wouldn't even give him that much of it. Let's be honest. Nobody's checking for Andrew Tate now. Now, when Andrew Tate was popping, yeah, okay, people were checking for Andrew Tate then. And nobody's really checking for them now. Nobody's checking for them. But let Myron tell it. These people are leading the youth. Okay? Let him tell it. Let's continue.
People that are really responsible for red pilling the fucking youth and making them be conservative are Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, and Sneeko. Those are the three guys that fucking brought the youth to the right. It's not Charlie Kirk. It's not Ben Shapiro. It's not Daily Wire. It's not Steven Crowder. It's not Dan Bongino.
Now, did you hear that? It's not Charlie Kirk. Okay, he's saying it's not Charlie Kirk. So this is Myron low-key being jealous of Charlie. Myron's hating on Charlie. This is a little sneak diss to Charlie. Just to keep this in mind.
It's none of these guys.
Okay. It's none of them. Okay. This is how Myron was feeling about Charlie. Oh, just remember that. Let me show you something else. Myron wasn't done. Pull up the rest of my receipts and my evidence.
I'd be happy to, I think me and Nick Fuentes versus, Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro would be pretty.
There he goes, bringing up Nick Fuentes. Now, you got to remember that Fresh and Fit was a reason or a factor as to why Nick Fuentes really blew up, because they kept bringing Nick Fuentes back, even though his co-host didn't want Nick Fuentes on there, because Nick Fuentes was the reason why Fresh and Fit got demonetized on YouTube in the first place. He completely really ruined their business, and Myron knew that. But Myron, because Myron's such a, suck up, Myron's going to have Nick Fuentes up there as his master, because he just wanted to befriend and please Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes actually mocked Myron and Fresh and Fit for having them on there and having them be deplatformed, because Nick Fuentes is a snake like that. But here Myron goes again, talking about how he wants to team up with Nick Fuentes. Let's listen to some more.
And Ben Shapiro would be pretty good. We could talk Israel all day, because I think this is a conversation that, traditional conservatives, I think me and Nick Fuentes versus, Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro would be pretty good.
Me and Nick Fuentes, Charlie didn't like Nick Fuentes either. So So him and Nick Fuentes up against Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro. So he dissed Charlie Kirk. And he wanted to debate Charlie Kirk. Just keep all of these things in mind. This is where Myron stood on Charlie. And, all of these people are villains to me. Just keep that in mind. I'm not siding with none of them. They're all villains. But I just want you guys to be aware of the honesty of them. Because you would have to think, okay, well, if Myron was like this and he was never friends with Charlie, and he used to sneak diss Charlie, and Candace is on this crusade and this mission that she's so determined and driven by her heart and her love for Charlie Kirk. Why is she teaming up with Myron and having an interview about Charlie when Charlie didn't like Myron? What Candace, what are you doing? You seem to be real buddy with Charlie's ops. Now you claim everybody in the government is a part of Charlie's ops, but you cool with Myron, who admittedly used to work for the government. But okay. We
could talk Israel all day, because I think this is a conversation that, traditional conservatives that are, in the right wing can no longer run from this topic. I think the Great Awakening is here. People are waking up to our greatest ally and how they don't really give us any strategic benefit, despite the claim that they do.
Okay. So that was Myron before. And then right after the whole situation with Charlie, after Charlie Kirk was offed, then Myron got to faking online like he always loved Charlie and Charlie was his best friend forever.
And it's funny because I see people like, Jurik Nigsheed, like they're celebrating his death, thinking it's funny and shit like that. I mean, look, let's just call a spade a spade. He's a stupid nigger that's married to a Jew. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, this is some fucking niggerism behavior, right?
All right, now he's dissing Tariq over Charlie.
And this is why a lot of people don't like the black community. This is why they get made fun of. This is why they get roasted. This is why FBAs are fucking retards.
All right. Now we're not even gonna. I'm not even gonna play. The language is too much. I'm not even gonna play the rest of that, right? But we're all this and all that, and we're so bad and we're so terrible, despite the fact that Myron was dissing Charlie. The same energy that He's sitting up there. I can't believe you would say something disparaging about Charlie. No, you were not cool with Charlie. You were not cool with Charlie. And then the second he passes away, or the second he was taken out, now all of a sudden you're cool with him. All of a sudden. And here Candace goes doing an interview with the same guy. Now, let Candace tell it. She had no idea that Myron said any of those things about Charlie. The same way she had no idea who Nick Fuentes was. She didn't know who Nick Fuentes was. She just does interviews with her big platform and her investigative journalism, and that she does oh so well, let people tell it. She just doesn't know who these people are, even though she's investigating all of the ops of her former friend. A lot of people are calling that out and saying, Candace, what are you doing?
My common sense here. You only lie because you have something to cover up. No matter what the lie is you only lie because there's something that you're hiding. So if they had all come out right when Charlie died, if Seth Dillon, who pressed Charlie in the Hamptons, was like, oh my gosh, my biggest regret is the last time that I saw Charlie, I was being such a jerk about the Israel. They was so stupid. And this is a reminder that you never know when you're going to see somebody last. It would have been like, oh, okay, nothing to see here. It was like a full court press effort.
No, why it's phrasing like that. But yeah, doing that, having a whole interview, all of that. People asking like, okay, Candace, it's been months and you haven't really reached any conclusions. It's kind of going here, there. Is this government? Is this person? Is this government? Now it's Turning Point USA. Now it's Trump. It's the American government. Now it's a foreign government. Now it's another foreign government. Now it's another foreign government. Now there were helicopters following him. Now it was somebody on the roof. Now it was nobody on the roof. Now the person who did it knew about it. He didn't know about it. It's like a lot of people like, what is going on? And she keeps saying, we're close. We're getting close. We're getting close, guys. Don't you understand? They're scared. We're getting close. We're getting close.
Story are Zionists, and they demand that we accept the Fed story. And their panic is making me think that we're getting closer to something, and that something is pretty big.
Okay. But you can only say that for so long before you have to prove something. And this was Candace's grift. It was going to be one unconclusive conspiracy after another unconclusive conspiracy, and they were entertaining for a while. But when you actually try to tell people that they have a moral obligation to investigate what really happened, and she put all of it in this, and I'm talking about she was getting millions of views per episode. Oh, she's been eating good off of Charlie's name. And I'm not saying she doesn't really care about Charlie, but I'm saying a lot of people are finding certain things she's doing suspicious. A lot of people are saying that, hey, some of the receipts you got, like when you screenshot text messages, we can't really see the text message in full context. Plus, we can't see the date. And you're bringing up texts that you used to have with Charlie in 2019, in 2018. And word on the street is you ain't really had a strong relationship with Charlie in the last few years before he passed away. Y'all were cool, y'all were on cool terms, but y'all were not the best of friends like you're trying to make it out to be. And you're trying to avenge your best friend. A lot of people are questioning that, because if that was the case, why are you buddy-buddy with everybody you claim now doesn't like him? You work for Ben Shapiro, and then you tried to out Ben Shapiro for hating on Charlie. But you were working with him until you and Ben Shapiro got into bad terms, and it had nothing to do with Charlie. So, what's up? What's up, Candace? That's what a lot of people are suspecting. A lot of people are saying that. They don't know why Candace is doing what she's doing. I'm gonna tell you what I suspect. Either one or two things. Either Candace Owens is losing her mind, going down the rabbit hole of these conspiracies, trying to tie it to everything, and she's not getting a conclusive answer, and she's driving herself mad, and she's going insane trying to find these things, and she's now getting paranoid, and she's tying everything together. Eventually she's going to say the world is a simulation, and that her and Charlie were the only real human beings that ever really existed, not even her husband. I would hate to hear what her husband has to think about this. Not even her husband. It was only her and Charlie, and the government didn't want Charlie to survive so they can bring forth real children or something of this sort. I don't know what she's going to say. Okay. Or the grift is over with. It's done. It could be that. It's just over with. You've milked that cow dry for the longest time. You've milked it dry. And now you're at this point where people are starting to say, hey, Candace, I'm going to need some conclusive results fast. I'm going to need at least one person that you can conclusively stand by and say, you did it. You were involved. There's enough evidence for you to be arrested. But she doesn't do that. She mentions names and say they act weird and they act suspicious, and I'm asking questions and I'm asking questions. But she doesn't conclusively accuse anybody of anything. And then next thing you know, if they come back and they refute that, she say, I didn't accuse you. So this is why people are having an issue. Because now it's seeming as if you're leading the audience on this hamster wheel to nowhere. Now she has to come out with this big statement that the government is planning to assassinate her. The French government. Now she has a tip that the French government is planning to assassinate her. Then she said the next day, right after that tweet that she made, she also leads up by saying the next day, and pull this up, where's that tweet? Hold on. She made another tweet the following day about the potential assassination. Okay, this is what she had to say. All right. So, I am told payments for assassinations are running through Club de Cent in France. Okay, so that's where the payments are going. This means that there's a paper trail, and I encourage the patriots of France to do what they can to uncover it. I would again like to stress that there was a French female assassin, but also a male Israeli assassin that were selected to kill me. There are joint state operations. These are joint state operations. Okay. So she's got assassins from France and Israel, maybe Egypt too, maybe some American. I mean, she has the world's top assassins around the world, all of the governments. He said, hey, I can give you my best assassin in the world. Okay? That's what Benjamin said. The Macron said, okay, cool. I can give you my best assassin in the world too. And then Donald Trump said, all right, I will give you my best assassin. And all of them together formed their own assassins and their Black Ops team of assassins to come and get Candace Owens, because Candace is getting close. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on now. Oh, come on. Listen. Let me tell you something. This is because you really don't have anything. You can't prove anything. Just like you couldn't prove anything with the conspiracy before. You couldn't prove anything, at least conclusively, with the conspiracy before. You have some good questions. But everything Candace does, she takes it off the deep end. And she goes into this almost insane asylum method of figuring things out and connecting the dots. you would think it's 1, 2, 3, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5, 6, 11, 12, 1, 10, 0, 0, 0. It's going all over the place. And you lose everybody. It's just so much that you lose everybody. You put so much on the table and nothing matches with each other. And now they're trying to assassinate you. But the thing is that Candace is like that. Let's be real, family. Let's be real. Candace is like that because she was unsuccessful in her return to the black community. When she was leaving the Daily Wire and she was going on these different podcasts and she was doing all of this different stuff, she was trying to return to the black community. That's why she was going to Joe Budden. That's why she was going to the Breakfast Club. I'm going to show you this receipt I saw. A snippet from the Joe Budden podcast where she was on there. Hold on, let me pull this up real fast. She was on there, then now all of a sudden she loves black people. She loves black culture, and everything she was doing is because she loves them. Okay, and that's the reason. Let me pull this receipt up real quick. All right, here we go. Where? Oh, take the image off. Of course, y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see that. This is what Candace had to say.
Talented. Like I said, when it comes to the arts and creativity, I just find Black American to be funnier. I think we're also funnier. I think we have a natural sense of
hold on.
Black Americans are incredibly talented. Like Black Americans are incredibly talented. Like I said,
Black Americans are incredibly talented. Black Americans are incredibly talented. Okay?
Said when it comes to the arts and creativity, I just find Black American to be funnier. I think we're also funnier. I think we have a natural.
She says, I find us to be funnier. She said Black Americans to be funnier. We. She said we. Now, I don't know if all of this France investigation is getting you into the point where you're speaking French, but you're saying we. Okay? Now, Candace, you said that you was Caribbean, Candace. Now when you want to be cool with foundational Black Americans, now you saying it's a we thing. I think we are just naturally funnier. Okay? And we have so much talent and grace and so much rhythm and swag. Candace, I remember you saying that. Hold on, Candace. So this ain't you?
I'll be honest. I have a Caribbean bias. My former producer made it very clear to me that I have a Caribbean bias because she'd pitch me stories or like say like Rihanna did this and I'd be like, I'm not going to say anything bad about Rihanna, or like Nicki Minaj. And she's like, but I have a Caribbean bias. This guy's got a Caribbean accent. My grandma had a very thick St. Thomian accent.
Oh, okay. So you're Caribbean bias. Now you're saying that Black Americans are the funniest. I mean, that part is true. That part is true. We are the funniest. I mean, come on, who can doubt that? But why are you saying we? I think we are naturally funnier.
Americans are incredibly talented. Like I said, when it comes to the arts and creativity, I just find Black American to be funnier. I think we're also funnier. I think we have a natural sense of humor. Like when we're comedians, we do it the best. Also, when we sing, we do it the best. When we're athletes, we do it the best.
See, Black pride.
Do y'all hear all of this we? This we. When we're singers, we do it the best. When we're actors, we do it the best. When we're athletes, we do it the best. You would think she was born and raised in France. All of this we. Now, she admits that she's a Caribbean. She is a Caribbean, okay? Even if maybe her grandpa or something, because she alluded one time that her grandpa was FBA, but all of the other times she only claims her Caribbean lineage and ancestry. Then when she's leaving Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire, and she wants to kind of get cool with the black community. Now it's, we are really the best. We're the funniest, we're the smartest, we're the hardest working, we're the best singers, dancers. We are really great, guys. We together. So this is what Candace was trying to do. And this is why, because it didn't work, why she led to the conspiracy thing. Let's finish. And here's Ben eating it up. I mean, not Ben, Joe.
Yes,
I say
Candace.
this on
That's
my
what
show.
we want from Candace. Black pride, not all of the other shit that makes us say, damn, is she proud to be black or is she not proud to be black?
And if you watch my show, you're not hearing anything new. This is what I say. This is the lessons in all of that. Forget the headline about what I said, but why I say it offends me. I'll say because this is what I grew up with, and this is what I know we are capable of. Because I know you can do better, and I know who's.
I'm only saying that, and then here goes Candace. Candace tried to do this because Candace tried to lie and rebrand by saying, well, I was only tough on you guys because it was tough love. And I did it because you guys, I just want the best for us together. And I know we can do better. So that's why I was saying these things, but I've been saying this the whole time that we were the best. It was just the headlines that manipulated you into thinking that I was anti-black. You guys were manipulated into thinking that. But I've been on your side the whole time. Don't you guys understand that? Don't you guys see that? I've always rocked with you. I've always loved you guys so very much. That's what she was saying. Okay. Except for when she wasn't saying that. When she was saying this.
Slaves built this country. History betrays this narrative, okay? Let me first say, obviously, we all know slavery was abhorrent. It was an abhorrent practice all over the world, did not begin in America, and actually did not begin with white people, right? It still goes on today, and it is black and brown people that keep those institutions up. And actually, white people were the first people to end the institutions of slavery. France, the United Kingdom, followed by America. We were the first to put an end and to abolish slavery. So there's no question that it was an abhorrent practice. There's no question that it leaves a stain on all of the histories around the world, right? Forget just American history, all around the world.
Okay.
It leaves a stain.
Yeah, so yeah, we're the best and all of that stuff. Oh, she also called us the best when it comes to crime too. Do you remember that? Now let her tell it. She's saying that we were the best dancers and all of this, but this is also what she said about foundational Black Americans.
And one thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist, but when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when the perpetrator is a black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that Black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate.
Okay.
The fact that Black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate. The fact that Black Americans are the most murderous group in this country, given the fact that Black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate.
All right. Now, she was saying that. So let's get back to the clip where she was talking about how great we are and how much she's been saying that the whole time. Let her tell it. She's always been saying that we were the best and we were so great. Okay? It was just coincidental that she said that. And she tried to make this pivot when she was losing to Ben Shapiro.
Making the decisions in the boardroom. And I see their evil game and it's Machiavellian. And I'm just not having it. That's why I'm not allowed to speak to Black Americans beyond the headlines. That's why they want to separate us, is because they are worried about what would happen if there was a Black Renaissance.
Oh, man.
Black Americans are incredibly talented.
She said they are worried about what would happen if there was a Black Renaissance that Candace would bring about. The same Candace that said that we were the most murderous group in America and that slavery wasn't built by, or America wasn't built by slaves and we don't deserve reparations. She is the champion of the Black Renaissance. Oh, that rebrand. She tried real hard for that rebrand. She tried really hard for it. And that did not work out for her. I'm letting you guys know this to let you guys see why she chose the conspiracy route, because there was no other route for her. She really didn't have anywhere else to go. This was the only thing that she really could have done. She couldn't have done anything else besides that. Okay. Hold on. Pulling up more receipts. I had to mute it.
A limousine with the chauffeur. That's where I'm at right now. That song really does still slap, you guys. Why am I playing it? Because, well, I told you, I am having the blackest week ever. And in that song, he talks about his mom, loves to show him off, smiles every time my face is up in the source. Well, guess what, guys? My face is up in the source. Check out these headlines. I've been just really trying to get into black media and have them say something nice about me, and it happened. This first from the source. Candace Owens on Beyonce's country music. She's more country than Taylor Swift ever was. Next headline over here in Vibe. Candace Owens defends Beyonce. Says she's more country than Taylor Swift. Yes, guys, 2 positive headlines, and we are celebrating because I also have a ton of media booked up. Look, this is a picture of me and Joe Budden yesterday. It actually happened. We sat down. I'm going to tell you about that discussion. I don't think it's going to air for another week, but I'm going to give you guys the scoop.
So she came up. I want you to see, you can't see the music, but she was dancing to, and I don't even want to play this. I don't want them to.
The chauffeur. That's right.
Okay, to Biggie Smalls. All right. You can see, yeah, okay. Boy, if that's not some Taylor Swift dancing right there.
Right now, that's
All right. You sure ain't dancing like no FBA woman. Lord have mercy. You dancing like a Taylor Swift fan. That's what you're doing. And you said, oh, I'm so glad I was able to go on black media. I was able to go on Joe Budden, and I was able to have a conversation with him, and everything was going really great. And I just love the fact that the headlines are finally giving me a chance. They're finally giving me a chance that I've never been able to get, even though I've had my own platform and have been able to say everything and anything I've wanted to say for years now. But I've never been given a fair chance. It's all been manipulation. Everybody has been taking my words out of context because I keep saying them. Okay. So she says that. Okay, that's what she says. All right. And then this was her on the Breakfast Club.
Back to something you said earlier, because I know a lot of people will hear you say, well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about the black family, but then you married a white man.
Yeah,
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
You familiar with Dr. Umar?
I have heard of him. I have not listened to him, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What is his argument, actually, if you could just repurpose his argument
He
for me?
feels
Everything
that,
black.
No.
Yeah, yes, it is. Every damn thing.
He feels black men should be with black women because when you're talking about it from an economic standpoint, you want to grow the wealth as a black family.
But that doesn't...
And if you marry somebody from another race, then, your wealth will be with that person, and he doesn't like that.
Okay, I would love to talk to him more about that because, it's always very interesting to me to hear this paradox of black people who will make an argument that, the system is racist and then also make an argument like this, which is essentially making an argument for the Supreme Court to revisit Virginia versus Love and basically say that black Americans and white Americans shouldn't be marrying. I think the greatest thing ever is when people come together on the basis of who they love and get married. For me personally, I never thought of my husband as a race. This is very interesting to me that see people go, she's married to a white man. When I look at my kids, I'm not like, oh, my kids are mixed. I married the person that it made the most sense for me to marry. I have a mind that is just, if you even knew half the things that I'm thinking about, the stuff that I'm reading, just go all the time. It was difficult for me to find a partner that was a challenge to me. The challenge that I needed, whether you want to say like an academic challenge, whatever it is, with my same interests. It just was. What you will know, a lot of times people think that when people come together, it's because of how they look. Actually, I actually read this in a Thomas Sowell book, or maybe it was a Shelby Steele book. People tend to marry their IQ, which is interesting. You think like if you see 2 black people together, oh, it's because they are 2 black people, but actually they are probably better matched based on their IQ.
What? People tend to marry based on their IQ. And so even when Candace is trying to reach black media, she failed. Oh, she failed terribly. She failed terribly talking about that. I'm going to be honest, the whole thing, Joe Budden tried to give her an alley-oop, but the Breakfast Club interview, that smacked that down. And people, first off, it was never a chance that she was going to come back in good graces to black society. But after that, it was like, nah, we're done. Candace is too far. She's too far gone. There was another clip from the Breakfast Club. I'm not going to play too many of them, but I just want to play this one. Another one real quick. There's a couple of them she had. Let me get to, I think it was this one real quick.
Basically describes welfarism, right? Like, despite the fact that there's been trillions of dollars since the establishment of welfare, Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it. People don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow...
Hold on. Did y'all catch that?
Or before it. People the establishment of welfare, Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it.
Black Americans are poorer today than we were before it. So when you didn't like black people and you wanted to distance yourself from black people and you said black people were the most murderous group in America, and when you wanted to denigrate black people, you were all super Caribbean.
I'll be honest, I have a Caribbean bias. My former producer made it very clear to me that I have a Caribbean bias because she'd pitch me stories or like say like Rihanna did this, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Rihanna, or like Nicki Minaj, and she's like, but I have a Caribbean bias.
Gotcha. So you have a Caribbean bias, okay? And then when you want to be cool with black people, it's a we now. Now it's a big we. And this is why when it comes to the whole conspiracies, not that I care that much, but you can't take anything she has with any bit of credibility or legitimacy. You can't. She's been lying and grifting the whole time. That's what she does. She lies to get into the conservative movement. Then when she's leaving, she lies to get into black's good graces with black society. That didn't work out. Now she's kind of in this middle where she's a conspiracy theorist and she's lying the whole time. And this is what Candace does. She's a liar. And now she's saying that the government, governments around the world, not even close to each other, these are governments that have to take flights to meet up with each other, are plotting her assassination. All right. Okay. Sure. We don't even got to play that. Notice when the tethers get up, it's a lot of we. They start speaking French real well, real fluently. It's we this, we. And you gotta understand that we. Let me get to the super chats. Okay. Dakota Jenkins says, let Zaddy Caribbeans save her. No sleep lost here. Hey, she got a Caribbean bias. She needs Caribbean help. That's all I got to say. She has a Caribbean bias. Go ask them. Don't come over here. There ain't no we. I don't speak French. We don't speak French over here. Go speak French over there to the Caribbeans, or go to France or wherever you're Zaddy, whatever, but we don't speak French. Okay? Descendant of greatness. Thank you very much for your super chat. Saying Myron's grifting hate into FBA to distract hate off Muslims, Arabs, and Africans, especially Sudanese. Look up Sudan hate crimes. Fraud, grape, hold on, let me zoom in a little bit more. Infanticide, which is taking down infants, eliminating, unaliving infants. Let me see. Macrocide, etc. Kill stats, yeah, it's a lot. Kill stats in Sudan just in 2015 is more than FBA's in 500 years. Yeah, Sudan has a whole war going on, and it's not nothing to joke about. It's really not nothing to joke about. okay? And even when they come over here, a lot of them, they joke and they say certain things. Now, Myron is an Arab. Now, Myron claims, Myron Amarul Foodie still to this day claims to be a Muslim. He's a Muslim like I've never seen no Muslim like Myron before. I've never seen no Muslim like him. But Myron claims that he still is Muslim. That's most of, in Sudan, that's the predominant religion that's practiced over there. So he tries to defend that, which is why he has his issue against Benjamin Netanyahu and that country over there, the small hats over there. Not really because of the American government, because he has his own bias because of his own homeland. That homeland that he doesn't want to speak about, because when you mention his homeland, it gets very, very disparaging. But he'll come over here, just like Candace will come over here, and they'll disparage FBA, they'll throw us under the rug, they'll lie on us, they'll call us low IQ, all of this disparaging, evil, untrue things that they'll say repeatedly again and again and again, because the dominant society gives them a pat on the head when they say it. But they know never to cross that line when it's their own people. I'm so glad that Candace admitted. I don't know why she did, but I'm so glad that she admitted that bias. I'm so glad. Y'all don't understand how happy that makes me. Because for the longest time, they've been all like, well, no, I call everybody out. No. Admit it. Y'all don't want to call your own people out, because when you do, then we are going to compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges. And when we compare your apples to our apples, y'all are far worse. Y'all are far worse, which is why they don't like us delineating. Because when we delineate, then they don't get to say, well, hold on, I'm black. I'm a black man. You see my skin? I am black. Okay, I am a Negro. So therefore, I can speak on all Negroes. No. You're not a foundational black American. So therefore, you have no authority to speak on us or our community or our conditions in this country. You don't have any authority or legitimacy. If you speak on it, nobody's going to listen. And the reason why the dominant society is trying to put you on this pedestal, the same way they did with Candace, is because Candace was cosplaying for years before it was finally outed that she was Caribbean. Myron never got that opportunity. He never got a chance to really cosplay, because the second he stepped on the scene with Fresh and Fit, even before he went to the conservative side, it was already outed that he was non-FBA. Him and his other tether friend. It was already outed from jump that they were non-FBA. And Candace, and lucky for her, she conveniently started her conservative grift thing before the delineation movement. Before we started doing that. And she was cosplaying. So she was able to ride for a long time, but now it's over. Myron never got that chance. So Candace was able to be taken serious to a level Myron will never be able to be taken serious. Nobody's ever going to be taking Myron serious like that. Okay? This dude is a wannabe rage baiter. That's really all he is. Okay? Vampire Greg says, well, Afro, I went down the Candace Owens rabbit hole. I found out her husband, George Farmer, is allegedly paying for the other team. Playing for the other team. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be. I'm going to be honest. A lot of the white men who like black women also like other things. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to say all, but a lot of the white men who be like, I love me a black girl. They like black girls as fetishes. And a lot of times when they like the black fetish, they like other fetishes too. You know what I'm trying to be appropriate. But you know what I'm saying. They get into when they like, oh, I love a black girl with dark skin and natural hair, and oh my God, that's a fetish to them. That's not their only fetish. Just gonna leave it there. Okay. Now let's get to first class citizen saying this is typical tether behavior. It's quote we when it's our good accomplishments, but it's just them when it's their ethnic when it's their ethnic when they do something good. Yeah, that's true. Some clown bull. Yeah, some clown craps. Yeah, it is. It is. When it's music, when it's dancing, when it's entertainment in general, when it's sports, when it's anything athletic, when it's academia, when it's accomplishments, when it's activism, when it's inventions, when it's our culture, when it's our fashion, it's we. Get to speak French. It's we. Bonjour, oui. It's we. Now, when they do something good, then all of a sudden, well, hold on now. I am the first Caribbean in my family. This is a Caribbean restaurant. I am a Caribbean person. Candace Owen, Caribbean. Myron Gaines, I'm from Sudan. I'm Sudanese now. I'm Sudanese. Oh, okay. Oh, so when you're doing something good, you're Sudanese. When you create a business, you're Sudanese. When you create a business, you're what? You're from Barbados or Panamania, or you're Jamaican, or you're Nigerian, and you're this, you're that. But then when you want to claim stuff that we do, it's a we. And they've been doing that for too long, which is why we've gotten all of it. And we've recently talked about this week with the whole Pan-African finesse. All of that's over with. All of that open door lineage where y'all get to come in and come out as y'all choose. Y'all get to be black when y'all want to be black. All of that, nah. Everybody, we sitting up there, we closing our doors. Y'all close y'all doors. Y'all stand on y'all lineage and we gonna stand on our lineage. That's what everybody's doing now. That's what it is now. Oh, she's from St. Thomas or her grandfather or something? St. Thomas, maybe somewhere in the Caribbean. She said it. Everybody's standing on their lineage now. And by us standing, because everybody was standing on their lineage until it was inconvenient. Everybody was standing on their lineage at their own convenience. Okay? And everybody had their door closed and locked with a password. You couldn't get in. But our doors were always open. And everybody get to run in, run out, grab a plate, eat at the table, leave, don't contribute anything, and then leave a mess. And then leave. They used to do that all the time. Now we're closing our doors. Now everybody, hey, just eat at your own house. Oh, you said you were smart. You said you got IQ. You got high IQ, even though you're a dropout and Charlie Kirk is a dropout and all of the people that you aspire to be, all of the white men that you aspire to be are either criminals or dropouts. But there goes your IQ, right? Your high IQ. People married to their IQ. Really? Are you sure about that? Okay. And you married a white man because you couldn't find a black man with your IQ. All right. Okay. That's what Candace is saying. I'm telling you, that interview she did with the Breakfast Club, it really did mess her up.
People don't know this, but during the time of Jim Crow, before welfare was established in the 1950s, Black Americans were actually outpacing white Americans in this country in terms of economic growth. And the reason for that was because our families were together.
Black Americans were outpacing white Americans. And the reason for that is because our families were together. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, she really tried it. She really tried it. She really did. But I'm telling you, it didn't work. And that's what led her to the conspiracy theory thing that she's doing, because she needed something else to do. She had to find somewhere to land. She couldn't go to PragerU. She couldn't go to Ben. She couldn't go to Turning Point USA, which is kind of weird because you claim that you and Charlie were so close. I don't know why you didn't go back to Turning Point USA or why you left Turning Point USA in the first place. Did you and Erica get along? Was that the reason? I don't know. That might need to be a whole investigative series, because I don't know. Maybe Erica didn't like you like that. I don't know. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I don't know. And you damn sure couldn't come back over here Not that you were ever over here. You couldn't come back to Black America. You couldn't come to Black America. You thought that you would set up a damn interview with Joe Budden. You thought Joe Budden was the gatekeeper to Black America. You thought Charlemagne, and to be honest, you did terrible on the Breakfast Club interview. You thought that the Breakfast Club or the Joe Budden podcast, what? You really thought that that was your avenue to Black America? Oh, you messed up. Messed up real big. Messed up real big. So now you led to conspiracies and all of that stuff. And now you're out here saying that the government is plotting to assassinate you. Okay. This would have never happened if she was not such a disrespectful anti-Black tether from day one. If you weren't Candace, if you were not a tether from day one, if you were solid, if you were a rider like you should have been, you wouldn't even be in these problems. The lesson learned, and I'm not wishing any bad on her. I'm not wishing her untimely demise. I'm not wishing anybody to target her. I'm not encouraging that. I'm not justifying that. But I'm saying that the situation that you're in hindsight, let's just look at it like this. If you were not against foundational Black Americans, you wouldn't be in this situation. I hate to say it's karma, but I mean, is it not? Is it not karma? Because karma comes for everybody, doesn't it? Karma comes in harsh ways, doesn't it? I want y'all to understand we're going through a renaissance, right? We're in a renaissance. And everybody who is against us, against the movement, against reparations, against foundational Black Americans, against Black progress and success, is now the bill is coming due for everybody. And some people's bills are higher than other people's bills, and that's the problem. And Candace Owens' bill is pretty high. Candace Owens has been disparaging foundational Black Americans for a long time. Her bill is high. Her bill is pretty high, y'all. And I don't wish nothing bad on her, but I'm just saying, if you would have did right the first time when you had the first good opportunity, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't. I Am Waffles. I like that name. IQ. Ain't she a college dropout fashion major? Yeah, she is. And she had to finesse to get a little bit of money from the NAACP out of racism, right? Oh, speaking of dropout, so is he. So is he a dropout? Okay, just so you know, a lot of these people who be bringing up this IQ argument are dropouts, who don't have high IQ. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, y'all. We'll see what happens. I want to know I want to know y'all opinion. Do you think, one, that I'm gonna say situation A, scenario A, is Candace Owens crazy? Has Candace Owens lost her mind? Is her quote unquote investigative journalism driving her mad, driving her insane, driving her delusional, where she believes that now governments are after her, and she believes that everybody in the world, and it was the Illuminati, and it was demons, it was aliens from Mars, it was people from another dimension and universe who took out Charlie Kirk? If you believe that, you can put a 1. Okay, that's scenario 1. Or scenario 2. Scenario 2 is that Candace Owens was always lying. Candace Owens was grifting off of Charlie Kirk's name because she knew that she had a previous relationship that she was going to finesse. And she's been lying about these conspiracies because she has nothing else to do. And now she's running out of steam. She has no results. And now she has to come up with some argument that they're erasing evidence and that they're getting rid of all of this stuff. What is it? What is it? Was she lying the whole time, or is she going crazy? Could still be, I don't know. Y'all let me know that in the comment section below. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let me know. What's wrong with Candace? But I need y'all to hit that like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. And then leave in the comment section, what do y'all think Candace Owens' problem is? Is she cuckoo or is she a liar who's about to get caught? Who knows? All we know is it's really not FBA culture. That's all I know. All I know is she's not FBA. That's the only thing I can conclusively say before we end this live stream, is that she's not FBA. All right? And I appreciate y'all being here. We had a lot of people in here, especially considering the fact that today is Thanksgiving. So a lot of you guys are with your families, you're out, you're enjoying yourself, or you might be working, making that overtime money, whatever the case may be. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I hope that you all be safe. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you guys for that. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I will see you all later. Appreciate y'all. Black first as always. Of course, y'all have a blessed one.